Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Maple Leafs Baseball. We're here at Christie Pits on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon, ready to see the Maple Leafs take on the Welland Jackfish, the newest team in the IBL. This is their first season in Welland after spending a number of years in Burlington. And they're getting ready to go here at Christie Pits. Starting on the mound for the Maple Leafs today is the right-hander Mateos Kakatos. We've seen Kakatos a few times over the course of the season with the Maple Leafs, mostly in a bullpen role. So I believe this is the first time I'm seeing him get a start here. So we'll see how he fares. He's looked pretty good in his stints with the Maple Leafs this season. So should be a good matchup here against the Welland Jackfish here, who currently sit at a record of 14-10, third place in the IBL. The Maple Leafs, meanwhile, sitting at 9 wins and 17 losses. That's only good enough for 7th out of the 8 teams in the IBL. The Maple Leafs have also lost 5 in a row. They've had a very busy week and haven't been able to come up with any victories. So this would be a nice way to cap it off and get a win under their belts here through this week. It's been very busy. Last week they were at home against Brantford, and then they had a home game on Wednesday against Hamilton, and then hit the road for 2 games, and one in Kitchener and then the next one in Barrie, and fortunately an 0-4 record in those games. So let's hope they can at least get one win out of this busy week here against this Welland Jackfish team. And throw down is from the catcher, who is Alex Seelman. Goes down, and we're ready to go here. So for Welland, it's going to be the second baseman, Brandon Nicholson, leading things off here against Kakatos. He'll be followed by Brendan Dadson, the first baseman, and Wilson Soriano, the shortstop for this one for Welland. And umpire says play ball, and we're getting ready for the first pitch here from Mateos Kakatos to Nicholson, and that's a high fly ball, first pitch of the game. It's going to stay in the park. It's going to be a play in left field there, and making the catch is the left fielder for the Maple Leafs, Ryan Santos. So one quick out here for the Maple Leafs against this Welland team.
First baseman, Brendan Dadson.
So Brendan Dadson will step up here. So the whole lineup for Welland is Nicholson, leadoff man, Brendan Dadson, the first baseman, up now, Wilson Soriano left field, and then he'll be followed by the designated hitter, Andrew Mercier. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Nolan Pettipies. After him, batting 6th will be Vaughn Bryan, the left fielder. And then center fielder, DeAndre Ashbury Heath in center field for this one for Welland. And then batting 8th, Nate Mastervik, the right fielder. And then rounding out the order will be Gregg Marco, the catcher for this one for Welland, as Dadson fouls one off there. Defensively for the Maple Leafs, as mentioned, it's Mateos Kakatos on the mound, and Alex Seelman is the catcher for this one. First baseman is Damon Toppoli, the manager slash basically everyday player at this point. There's a called strike there from Kakatos. At second base this time is Justin Morrow. We usually see him behind the mound, or sometimes little first base he plays as well, but today he's at second. There's a pitch from Kakatos, and that one is just inside. At third base is Cooper Lamb. You normally see him as designated hitter, so the Maple Leafs are switching around their players a little bit, giving them a few new positions out there. Shortstop is Ryan Johnston, as that one's fouled off by Dadson. Left field, Ryan Santos, who just made that play, the first pitch of the game. And in center field is Greg Carrington, and in right field is Marcus Connect. And the designated hitter in this one is a new name that I'm not too familiar with yet with the Maple Leafs, Alberto Tirado. So we'll see what he brings to the table. As that one's fouled off by Dadson. He's had a pretty long at bat here. I just went through all the introductions of all the players, and Dadson's still batting. So that should say something. Kakatos is ready. And here's the pitch to Brendan Dadson, and that one is taken for a ball. As mentioned, this Welland Jackfish team, third place in the IBL, the 14-10 record coming into this one. The third place, but still pretty far behind the 2 teams in first and second, which is Kitchener in first right now and Barrie half a game behind them. In fact, I can get the actual numbers as Dadson takes ball 4. And that'll bring up Wilson Soriano here. So one out. Base runner now for the Welland Jackfish, and Wilson Soriano will come up. Batting third for this Jackfish team here. Soriano comes up with a 268 average as he grounds that one to third. Nice play there from Lamb. He's going to try to get to second and gets it just in time. Nice play there from Cooper Lamb, who I just said we don't normally see him at third base. I didn't think he had any chance to really get the lead runner, but he's able to pull it off. It was a hard hit ground ball. He had to make a big stab for it and grabbed it, turned all the way around to throw it to second, which looked like it was going to be a mistake, but they erased the lead runner, Dadson. So Wilson Soriano aboard of the fielder's choice, but there's now 2 out, and it'll bring up the designated hitter, Andrew Mercier. Here's the pitch, and going on the first pitch is Soriano. Throw down. Nice throw from Seelman in time to get Wilson Soriano. A really strong throw from Alex Seelman. Nice play there. So Wilson Soriano is gunned out at second base to end the inning. So the Maple Leafs will have a chance to take the early lead here in the bottom of the first. So it's a 0-0 score after the top of the first inning, and we'll be right back in a moment.
Bottom of the first and foul, left fielder Ryan Santos.
All right, here we go to the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless here at Christie Pits Park. Ryan Santos going to lead things off here for the Maple Leafs. Santos is among the top batting averages across the IBL right now, over 400. He comes into this one with a .413 batting average. He's been really, really nice and effective for the Maple Leafs this season. This is his first year with the team. Pitcher on the mound today for the Welland Jackfish is the left-hander Rich Carrington. Carrington on the season got a 6.05 ERA and 22 and a third innings pitched. He has 12 strikeouts as he fires a strike there to Ryan Santos. Santos on the year has had a .412 average, 33 for 80. He's been a very nice addition to this team as he fouls that one off. Doesn't hit for a lot of power, but that's why he's here in this leadoff spot. So the perfect spot for him, especially with how well he's hitting the ball lately. It's a busy day across the IBL. All 8 teams are in action. Three games are going on right now. This one, of course, Hamilton is in Kitchener, and Guelph is taking on Brantford right now. And the other game, London and Barrie, will take place at 7:30 as that one is popped in the air, and it's going to be a long play, and coming all the way over to make the catch is the shortstop, It was Wilson Soriano. So it looked like he had the longest run of any of them, but it maybe had the best read on the ball, as the third baseman had to turn all the way around, and the left fielder wasn't able to get there in time. So Soriano really was the only one who could make that play. So he makes the play, and there's one away, and that'll bring up the reigning league MVP, Justin Mara. At second base, as I mentioned today, for the Maple Leafs. Shows bunt early, but pulls it back, as that one was well inside. Lineup for the Maple Leafs: Santos, Justin Mara, then Marcus Connect third. Batting fourth to clean up is Damon Toppoli. Cooper Lamb batting fifth. And then the designated hitter, who at least I haven't seen from the Maple Leafs this season, Alberto Tirado. So we'll see what he brings. And then rounding out the order, 7, 8, 9, Ryan Johnston, the shortstop, catcher Alex Sealman, and Greg Carrington in center field. But here's Justin Mara stepping in here. Mara's got a .307 average with 5 home runs this season. Also 16 RBI. So having a pretty nice start. Here's a pitch, a swing and a miss there from Justin Mara. And here's the pitch from Rich Carrington. That one's popped in the air. Going to stay in the park and be playable for the left fielder. And waiting for it and making the catch there is the left fielder, Vaughn Bryan. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. It'll bring up Marcus Connect.
Right fielder, Marcus Connect.
So here comes Connect with 2 away. Again, we're in the bottom of the first inning, still scoreless. Another gorgeous day for baseball. The Maple Leafs have gotten really fortunate with the weather this season. Very lucky they haven't had any games. I believe they haven't had any home games postponed or canceled due to rain. They've been able to get all of them in so far, and a lot of them have been days like this where not a cloud in the sky. There's a ground ball foul down the third base side, almost hit the third base coach. He had to jump out of the way there. Connect on the season, 27 for 88 overall. That's a .306 average, 6 home runs, and 19 RBI. So he's having a pretty nice season at the plate as well. Here's a pitch from Carrington. That one's in the air to center field, well hit. All the way back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Make it 7 home runs on the season for Marcus Connect as he takes Carrington to straightaway center field, and the Maple Leafs have a 1-0 lead early in this one. A well-hit ball there for Marcus Connect, and he'll touch home, make it official, and it's a 1-0 lead there for Serrano as they're trying to break this 5-game losing streak that they're on. That's a good start right there, courtesy of Marcus Connect. So here comes Damon Toppoli. Cleanup hitter in this one. Toppoli's having a pretty nice season at the plate, especially given that he's not typically an everyday player. That one's well hit. Into left field, just over the wall, and that one's out of here. Damon Toppoli with his first home run of the season. That one was a screamer and got out of here quickly. And back-to-back home runs here for the Maple Leafs. Toppoli, who came in with a batting average over 300, will put it up a little bit more with that shot. And it's 2-0 Maple Leafs.
A
lot of excitement in the Maple Leafs dugout right now as back-to-back home runs has put some energy into this place, and a 2-0 lead here. Cooper Lamb grounds one. That goes off the shortstop Soriano's glove, and that's going to be a base hit. So the hits keep coming. That was hard hit. I'm going to give the infield single to him because it was going to be a tough play no matter what for mostly Soriano. We'll see what the official wording is, but that's the wording I'm giving. That's the what I'm giving him. I'm giving him the infield hit, and that'll bring up Alberto Tirado, the designated hitter. So I say I don't know a whole lot about this guy yet. I want to see what his stats are when they come up on this point streak side. I haven't seen him. That's a ground ball, and that's a base hit for Serrano. So the hits keep coming, and now trying to head over to third is Cooper Lamb, and he'll get there. Nice base running there from Cooper Lamb, and Serrano does not wait long to make an impact for the Maple Leafs as he gets a base hit as well. Well, this is exactly the start that the Maple Leafs wanted. So for Serrano, he was 1 for 4 on the season, so hasn't had much time with this team at all. So that's his second hit right there, so you can make it 2 for 6. That'll bring up Ryan Johnston, the shortstop, with runners at first and third. This all happened with 2 out. The first 2 batters got out quickly. It looked like this was going to be a fast inning for Welland as well, but not the case as the Maple Leafs have caught fire here. That one's popped in the air. That one looks like it's going to go out of play, and it will. Over the Maple Leafs dugout. So Carrington looked like he was going to have a quick inning here and then quickly ran into trouble. Back-to-back home runs from Marcus Connect and Damon Toppoli have made it 2-0 Maple Leafs, and now they're looking for more thanks to back-to-back base hits from Cooper Lamb and Alberto Tirado. And now Ryan Johnston, the number 7 hitter, with a chance to bring potentially both of them in here if he can connect here. Ryan Johnston on the year struggling a little bit with the bat. He's 7 for 54. That's a 129 average, just 4 RBI. Let's see if he can add 1 or 2 more here. That one's in the air. That one's going to go out of play as well. So 0-2 the count now. But this is exactly the start the Maple Leafs want. A lot of the time in these games that they've lost, especially this week, they've fallen behind early and then just had to play catch-up the rest of the way and weren't able to do so. So getting off to a quick start here and having the early lead is great news for this team. That's a swing and a miss from Ryan Johnston, so the Maple Leafs can't get any more. But they get back-to-back home runs off of the 3-4 hitters, Marcus Connect and Damon Toppoli, and they'll take a 2-0 lead into the second inning. So for the first time in a while, the Maple Leafs are the team with their early lead. So we'll go to the top of the second. Picados presumably will be back on the mound, and we'll be right back in a minute.
Second for Welland, designated hitter Andrew Mercier.
So here we go to the top of the second inning here. Andrew Mercier, the cleanup hitter for Welland, is going to lead things off. He started his at-bat in the first inning, but then Soriano was gunned out at second, and that ended the inning. So Mercier will have a clean start here, and he'll take ball 1 away from Mateos Picados. I'm Eric Pinkella, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us here. This gorgeous day, this gorgeous afternoon at Christie Pits Park. Here for some Maple Leafs baseball, and it is early on a 2-0 lead for the Maple Leafs thanks to back-to-back home runs from Marcus Connect and Damon Toppoli. So Kakados will pitch in here now to Mercier, the cleanup hitter for Welland. He takes a strike there. Here's the pitch from Kakados. Swing and a miss from Mercier. As mentioned, we've seen Kakados a lot this season, but a lot of it's been in a bullpen role, from what I recall. So good to see him getting a start, getting rewarded for his pretty good start to the year that he's had. His ERA, though, is a little deceiving. He's got an ERA of over 7, almost at 8. Problem I recall seeing with him throughout the season is he'll pitch an inning great, and then we'll get into trouble in the second and third innings that he comes in to work. So I'm interested to see how he goes the rest of this start. His first inning was great as usual, so we'll see how this one goes here as he deals to Mercier here. That's a fly ball into center field. Carrington's going to have a play on it. He's all the way back at the wall, and he makes the catch. So 1 out now. It'll bring up the third baseman, Nolan Pettipies, for Welland here.
Third baseman, Nolan Pettipies.
So Pettipies will step in with 1 away here as Carrington made the catch on that fly ball from Mercier. And here's a pitch, and that one is low for ball 1. This is the first season in the league for the Welland Jackfish. Their first year in Welland. Pitch from Kakados. Swing and a miss there from Pettipies. So quickly 2 strikes. Before that, they spent a lot of time in Burlington. And in fact, the franchise dates back 10 or 15 years, and they started in Mississauga as the Mississauga Twins, and then quickly moved to Burlington, became the Burlington Bandits, and then spent a few years as the Burlington Herd, and now they're here in Welland as the Jackfish. The one constant, no matter where they are, no matter what their name is, still no playoff series victories for this franchise. So we'll see if that changes this season. Going around, appeal down, and I believe yes said the umpire there. Pettipies will step back in, not happy with that. Pettipies 302 average on the year, so he's having a nice year for Welland. There's called strike 3, and Pettipies goes down on strikes. Not happy with the umpiring, and he had a word for the umpire right there as he left, and the umpires stared him down a little bit as he walked back. So there are 2 away now, and the left fielder, Vaughn Bryan, is going to step up here. Batting 6th in this lineup for Welland, as Kakados is trying to finish up his second inning here. There's a pitch. That one's taken low for ball 1. Here's a pitch. That one's low. I remember seeing Vaughn Bryan last year when the Burlington Herd came into town. Had a couple of really good games against the Maple Leafs. Last year's Burlington team struggled a lot throughout the season, as that one's fouled away, but Vaughn Bryan was one of the nice spots on that team. This year, he hasn't had a lot of playing time. He's not sure if he's been injured or what the case has been, but he's only 5 for 19 on the season. 263 average, but obviously a small sample size. But he's here today, and here's the pitch. He fouls that one off, goes to the backstop. Yeah, he was one of the nicer pieces on that Burlington team last year that really struggled, finished in last place, and really couldn't get anything going last season. But having a much better go-around this time. They acquired a couple of guys, I think, just to excite the fans a little bit in Welland, as there's a swing and a miss there, and Vaughn Bryan goes down on strikes. So a couple of strikeouts in the second inning there for Mateo Kakados, so he continues his good start. And we're going to go to the bottom of the second inning. It is a 2-0 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs after an inning and a half. We'll be right back. Alex Sealman, the catcher, going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Sealman, Carrington, and then back to the top of the order with Ryan Santos. Rich Carente had a bit of a rough start to this game, as almost plunks Sealman with that pitch, but Sealman gets out of the way in time. So he's looking for a bounce-back inning here, as the Maple Leafs got 2 runs and almost got some more
Right, that I remember you.
off of him, but all of that came with 2 out. He's got the first 2 guys out, and then Connect hit a home run to straightaway center, and then Damon Toppoli hit a home run over the left field wall that got out of here in a hurry. And then Cooper Lamb and Alberto Tirado both got base hits, but he was able to strike out Ryan Johnston. There's a ground ball to third and in time to get Alex Sealman. There's a strong throw there from the third baseman, Nolan Pettipies. Able to get Sealman by half a step. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Gregg Harrington, here for the Maple Leafs. He'll step in, and I think the gate got opened out in center field, so center fielder DeAndre Ashbury-Heath has to go and close it, make sure it doesn't open again, and now we'll be able to, once he's back in position, we'll be able to get back into this. It started out a really windy day here at Christie Pits Park right at first pitch, but it seems to have died down a little bit. So we'll see if the wind picks up again during this game at all and what impact that might have on the game. So here's Gregg Carrington. That one's going to go foul down the left field side. Actually hits the pole. So 1 strike, 0-1 pitch on the way from Carente. As a fly ball into left field that's going to stay in the park, but getting a bad read on it, but able to get over and make the catch anyway, is the left fielder, Vaughn Bryan. He took a few steps back before he realized it was actually going to land well in front of him, so he had to rush in and make the catch, and he makes the running catch anyway, but almost a bad mishap there from Bryan. That'll bring up Ryan Santos with 2 out. This is where the Maple Leafs did all their damage in the first inning with 2 out, so see what they can do here, as that one's high and inside for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Santos. One and one's the count here. Here's the pitch from Carente. Another swing and a miss there from Ryan Santos. Pitch in the air. That one's looping in and making the catch. It hangs up just enough for Vaughn Bryan to come in and make the catch. So a good bounce back inning there for Rich Carente and the Welland Jackfish. So we'll go to the third inning here now. It is a 2-0 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Mateo Cacados back out for another inning of work, and we'll be right back in a minute. Here we go, top of the third inning here. It is a 2-0 lead for the Maple Leafs over the Welland Jackfish, thanks to back-to-back home runs in the first from Marcus Connect and Damon Toppoli. Center fielder DeAndre Ashbury-Heath is going to lead things off here for Welland against Mateos Kakados, out for his third inning of work, as that one goes high and away for ball one. Ashbury-Heath last season, he played in Brantford and made big impact, at least against the Maple Leafs. I remember one game, actually his first game in the IBL was halfway through last season, and I was there in Brantford broadcasting it, and his first at-bat was a home run against the Maple Leafs as he fouls that one off. And then a couple of games later, they were back here in Toronto, and Ashbury-Heath had a 3-home-run game here at Christie Pits. So the Maple Leafs know how dangerous he can be. There's a called strike against him, so count now 1-2. So he's obviously a nice pickup for Welland this season. He comes in with a .215 average, so struggling a little bit. He only has 1 home run. That one's taken outside. 11 RBI on the season, 19 for 88 total. So he hasn't supplied the power really that I think the Jackfish were looking for from him thus far in the season. And there's a long drive, and that one's well hit. That one's going all the way to the wall, and it's gone. Just as I say, he wasn't supplying the power. He takes Kakados' yard, and there is something about this ballpark that DeAndre Ashbury-Heath absolutely loves. And he'll circle the bases, and the Maple Leafs lead is cut in half. It's 2-1 here. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Nate Mastervik.
Right fielder, Nate Mastervik.
That's the 3rd home run of the game already. 2 from the Maple Leafs, and now 1 from Welland. All of them solo shots, and that's the only scoring any teams have had right now, as it's a 2-1 lead. And there's a fly ball into right field. It's going to be a tough play, and Connect can't make the play. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Carrington will field it, and he'll go over to second, and Nate Mastervik in with a stand-up double. That was a tough play for Marcus Connect. The only way he even had a shot at it was diving, and he tried to make the great play, but it bounced past him and went all the way to the wall. Nice play from Carrington to go and cover and make sure that someone was going to get that ball, and he goes in and fires it into second quickly to keep Mastervik at second.
Gregg Marco.
But now, with just no out in this inning so far, nobody out, and Gregg Marco, the number 9 hitter, coming to the plate, and Welland's got a good chance to tie this game here. So Kakados going to try to settle down a little bit. That one is in the dirt, almost gets by the catcher Sealman, but he makes a nice play to keep it in front of him. So Gregg Marco up now. He's struggling at the plate this season, a 100 batting average, 4 for 40 on the year. No home runs and 3 RBI. There's a pitch from Kakados. Oh, it's taken for a strike. So Mastervik standing at second. Jackfish already got 1 run back in this inning with the home run from DeAndre Ashbury-Heath. There's a pitch showing bunt is Marko, and there's another strike called. I think Marko didn't seem very happy with the strike call there, but now with 2 strikes, can't imagine he'll be bunting again. But as mentioned, he struggled a lot. He's been struggling a lot this season with the bat, so I wonder if they're going to try to get him to bunt again, even with 2 strikes. We'll see. Definitely a risky play. No bunt there. There's a swing, and he fouls it off and stays alive. Marko's the number 9 hitter. It'll be back to the top of the order with Brandon Nicholson on deck. Here's the pitch. That one is high and inside. Mastervik has a huge lead at second base. So something to keep an eye on. He's not really being... And it's called strike 3. Marko goes down on strikes, and he had a long wait in that batter's box before he left. I don't think he was happy with the call, but strike 3 called. So that's a big out for the Maple Leafs. So Brandon Nicholson will step up here with now 1 away. Mastervik still standing on second. So a little bit of wiggle room now for the Maple Leafs. Runner on second, now 1 out. In this 1-run game, as first pitch is away for Brandon Nicholson. Gatto's gonna try to pick off the runner at second, or just check in on him. But Mastervik gets back. Nicholson's 0 for 1 in this one. He flew out to the left field in his first at bat in the first inning. 285 average, 6 RBI on the year, no home runs. He fouls that one off. 14 for 49. Mercado's trying to keep this 1-run lead here. Here's the pitch. In the air, into right field, but that's going to go foul. As mentioned, there's 2 other games going on right now. The Guelph Royals lead the Brantford Red Sox 2-0. And over in Kitchener, it's a 1-0 lead for the Hamilton Cardinals over the Panthers. And then London Majors and Barrie will play later today at 7 o'clock. Here's a pitch from Kakatos. That one's away high for ball there. Here's a pitch. Fouled away, and that one's going to go all the way up the hill. A lot of fans coming in to watch this game. It's a gorgeous day, perfect day for baseball on this Sunday afternoon. Mercados, here's the pitch. Fouled again by Nicholson, and he's staying alive here. There's the pitch on the way, and fouled off again. Nicholson really battling here, making Kakatos work. Kakatos now at, I believe, 46 pitches already here in the 3rd inning. He had a very quick first 2 innings, but this inning has been a little trickier. We'll see how it goes here. In the air, and that's going to be in the center field for a base hit. Mastervik's only going to get to 3rd because he had to hold up to make sure that shortstop wasn't going to catch it. But it's a base hit for Brandon Nicholson, so now it's 1st and 3rd with just 1 out. Yeah, it looked like Ryan Johnston, the shortstop, had a chance at that ball as he almost was able to make a diving catch for it. So Mastervik had to hold up at second and then turn himself back around to head to 3rd, and he can't score. It was a very lightly hit ball as Nicholson goes into 2nd, and the Maple Leafs are going to let him do that because, yeah, like common baseball strategy is if the Maple Leafs try to throw to second on that, the runner Mastervik at third is just going to come in to score. So the Maple Leafs wisely let him just take second. They might call that defensive indifference. There's a ground ball, and that's going to score a run, but the Maple Leafs are going to get the out at first. Mastervik comes in to score, though, and this game is tied. So it's the RBI ground out for Brendan Dadson. And Nicholson is now at second. And that'll bring up Wilson Soriano. And with 2 out now, Jackfish have the go-ahead run at second base. Picados, and there goes Nicholson. He'll go into third, and that one will be a stolen base for sure. So now 90 feet away. Here's the pitch. That one is low. Here's a pitch. Check, swing, and no, says the umpire, and no appeal. Soriano up here. He is 0 for 1 on the day, but he reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. There's the pitch. On the ground. Playable for the shortstop. Throws it over to first in time. So Picados gets out of it, but not before, though, Jackfish get a couple of runs of their own and tie this game up at 2. So we're going to go to the bottom of the third inning. Fresh new game here as it's 2-2. We'll be right back. Here we go, bottom of the third inning here. Justin Marr leading things off. It's now a 2-2 game as well and gets a couple of runs in the top half of the third to tie it up. Justin Marr now going to lead things off against Rich Carrington. Takes a first pitch strike from the left-hander. Marr is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field in his first at-bat. That one's taken low for ball 1. If you're just joining us, it's a 2-2 game as the Maple Leafs got 2 runs in the first inning on back-to-back home runs from their 3-4 hitters, Marcus Connect and Damon Toppoli. And then in the top of the third, which we just saw. Welland came back to tie the game on a solo home run from DeAndre Ashbury-Heath. That one's in the air. It's going to be playable for the center fielder. Ashbury-Heath makes the catch. There's one away. So there's a home run from him, and then a RBI ground out from Brendan Dadson's tied the game. And that's where we stand here now, with one away in the bottom of the third. So Marcus Connect, the first of the 2 home run hitters for the Maple Leafs, steps up here. He's got 7 home runs on the season now.
Batting for Toronto, right fielder Marcus Connect.
As the home run he hit in the first inning, it was a no-doubter, but the only question was he hit it to the furthest part of the field, that kind of like left center field area. So the only question was whether it was going to clear that fence, but it did, really, with really no problem at all getting over that fence. It was a very well-hit ball. And then Topley, who bats right after him, is on deck right now, and he crushes another one. If that one stays fair, it's gone, and foul is the call. That was well hit, but kind of curved a little bit too much there. But as I was saying, Topley right after him hit a back-to-back home run. His home run was a lot different. That one was a screamer. It went out of here quickly. The only question was whether it was going to go over the fence. There's a ground ball played by the shortstop. Soriano fires over in time to get Connect. So here comes Damon Topley. We just mentioned his last at bat, hit a screamer over the left field wall. That was his first home run of the season. So we'll step up here against Carrington, and that one's away for ball 1. Popped up in the air. This might be playable for the first baseman, and stepping under it and making the catch there in foul territory is the first baseman, Brendan Dadson, and that is going to do it for the Maple Leafs in the third inning. So we played 3, a third of the way through the game here, and it's a 2-2 game between the Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back in a minute.
Leading off the top of the 4th, the Welland designated hitter Andrew Mercier.
Here we go, top of the 4th inning. It is a 2-2 game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the visiting Welland Jackfish. For the second time this game, Andrew Mercier, the designated hitter, is going to lead things off for Welland. Did the same back in the second inning. He flew out to center field. So he's 0 for 1 so far. As the pitch from Kakatos, as that one is in the dirt for ball 1. Lovely day here at Christie Pits. Another great Sunday afternoon for baseball. A lot of fans have come out to support Maple Leafs here, and there's a ground ball from Mercier. It's going to be played by Ryan Johnston over to first in time, and there's one away here in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Nolan Pettipies. That's the 3rd straight play that Johnston had to make. If you go back to the bottom of the third, he made the last 2 outs of that inning and then makes the first one here. So 3 straight 6-3s on the score sheet. Here's a pitch to Pettipies. That one is away for ball 1. It's been a pretty good day so far from Kakados, but he hasn't thrown a lot of first pitch strikes, I've noticed. So that's one thing he's got to work on throughout the rest of this game, but he's finding a way to settle in after that. That one's fouled off by Pettipies. He's 0 for 1. He struck out looking in his first at bat in the second. He's one of 3 strikeouts on the day so far for Mateos Kakados. Here's the pitch. Called strike by the home plate umpire. Pettipies had some words for the umpire after he was caught looking for strike 3, and the umpire kind of stared him down there. There's a ground ball by Pettipies. It's going to be played on a big hop there and thrown over to first. Nice scoop there from Topley, and there's 2 away. Not the best throw there from Cooper Lamb, the third baseman, but Topley was able to scoop it out of the dirt and make the play. So now 2 out. And here comes Vaughn Bryant. Left fielder, he's 0 for 1. He struck out in his first at bat in the second inning. Here's the first pitch from Kakados, as that one is a ball again. So another 1-0 start to the at bat. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled. So that evens the count at 1-1. Maple Leafs already have somebody warming up in the bullpen. So I wonder if Kakados is on a pitch limit here. It's a fly ball into center field. Going to be playable for Carrington. He backs up, makes the catch, and just like that, 1-2-3, go the Welland Jackfish in the top of the 4th. So we're going to move on. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. The Maple Leafs due up. It is a 2-2 game here at Christie Pits. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 4th inning. Cooper Lamb is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs. The third baseman, he is 1 for 1 today. Base hit back in that first inning. He's left at third. It's one of 2 base runners the Maple Leafs have stranded so far in this one. Rich Carente still pitching here, showing bunt there is Cooper Lamb, but pulls it back, and ball 1 is called. pitch. And that one's in the air, well hit by Cooper Lamb, but it's going to be playable for DeAndre Ashbury-Heath. Makes the catch a couple of steps before the fence, and one out here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Alberto Tirado.
Designated hitter, Alberto Tirado.
So Tirado up, and Tirado, not a whole lot of experience in this Maple Leafs lineup. I think this is just his second game with the team, but he's 1 for 1. He had a base hit in the first as well. And there's 2 quick strikes to Tirado. He's now officially 2 for 5 in the IBL. So a nice 400 average as he swings and misses, and I think he got a piece of it. So he stays alive, but can't believe you. First off, I'm surprised he would even swing at it, and I'm even more surprised that he actually made contact with that. That pitch was well outside. There's a ground ball. It's going to be playable. Almost went over the shortstop's head. He's got to throw quickly to get him, but just in time. So Tirado grounds out on a ball that took a weird bounce off of this notorious Christie Pits infield, and it almost bounced right over Wilson Soriano's head. He was able to make the play and fire it over to first quickly, and he gets Tirado by half a step. So 2 out. Ryan Johnston now at the plate for the Maple Leafs. Shortstop's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first. There's a pitch, a swing and a miss from Ryan Johnston. In the air, really high but not deep, and Ashbury-Heath is under it. He makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Maple Leafs. A quick 1-2-3 inning. They go down in order. So we'll go to the 5th inning here. It is a 2-2 game between the Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish. We'll be right back. All right, top of the 5th inning. DeAndre Ashbury-Heath going to lead things off for the Jackfish. And a new pitcher for the Maple Leafs. So Mateo Kakados is done after 4 innings. The left-hander Zach Sloan going to take over. Kakados, close the book on him. 4 innings pitched, 2 earned runs given up, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts. He must have been on some kind of pitch count because he was pitching quite well other than the 1 inning where he had a little bit of trouble. But he came in, got a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th, but the call was made to take him out here. So obviously he's not a guy who starts all the time for the Maple Leafs, so maybe he wanted to keep his arm from getting too fatigued. So Zach Sloan steps in here against Ashbury-Heath.
home share.
who is 1 for 1, who is back in the third inning. He led off the third inning with a solo shot, his second of the season. And it takes that one away from Sloan. Zach Sloan is having a bit of a tough season here. 9.18 ERA. Does have 20 strikeouts. That one's fouled off by Ashbury Heath. That's going to go out of play behind the backstop. As mentioned, Ashbury Heath has had his share of success here at Christie Pits Park. Here's a pitch from Sloan. As that one is popped up, might be playable, but it's going to be in a tough spot. Coming in to make the catch is the left fielder, Ryan Santos, and there's one away here in the top of the fifth. So that'll bring up the right fielder, Nate Mastervic. He's 1 for 1 in this one. He doubled and came around to score in that third inning.
Right fielder, Nate Mastervic.
So he'll step up here. Sloan, here's the pitch, and that one is high inside for ball 1. So lefty on lefty matchup here. 1-0 pitch on the way. That one is away for ball 2. Mastervic 7 for 27 on the season coming into today. So you can make it 8 for 28. No home runs on the year and 4 RBI, a .259 average. Again, that's coming into the game. That one is away, and the count's now 3-0. So Sloan got to find the strike zone here, and that won't do it, and it's a 4-pitch walk for Nate Mastervic. So it'll bring up the catcher, Gregg Marco, the number 9 hitter here for Welland.
Gregg Marco.
Gregg Marco, a batting average under 100 right now. He's 0 for 1 in this one, struck out looking in his first at bat in the third. Obviously, this is his first time seeing Zach Sloan. There's the pitch, and he's showing bunt, and it's a pretty good bunt down the first base side. Sloan's going to play it, but it just goes foul before he has a chance to grab it. So Marko will head back to first, and Marko will go back to the plate, and Mastervic will head back to first. Again, if you're joining us just now, we're in the top of the 5th inning here at Christie Pits Park. It's a 2-2 game between the Maple Leafs and the Welland Jackfish. Maple Leafs scored 2 runs in the first inning from back-to-back jacks from Marcus Connect and then Damon Toppoli. And then in the third inning, Welland got 2 runs of their own from the solo shot from DeAndre Ashbury Heath and then an RBI ground out from Brendan Dadson. And they've got Mastervic hung up between second and first and making the tag. Nice play there from the Maple Leafs. Perfectly executed as Sloan's able to pick Mastervic off. And now just like that, that threat is erased there on the base paths, and there's now 2 away. Nice pickoff play there from Zach Sloan. And that pitch is high to Marko. Sloan steps off for a minute, steps back on. Here's the pitch to Marko. Fouled off. So as mentioned, Marko coming into this game was 4 for 40, the 100 average. Now 0 for 1 in this one. Sloan trying to get out of this inning here, and there's a pitch and not called a strike. Sloan wondering where that pitch was. That looked very good even from up here. A lot of the Maple Leafs players took a couple of steps toward the dugout after that one, but not called a strike, and the count's now full. So here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one's in the dirt, and now Marko will take first base on the walk. And Sloan's maybe a little bit frustrated right now. He thought that was strike 3, and so did everybody else on the team. But Marko walks, and now Brendan Nicholson will come up here.
Brendan Nicholson.
Nicholson 1 for 2 had a base hit in his last at bat in the 3rd inning. Had a couple of stolen bases as well. He takes strike 1 as Sloan's trying to get out of it here. So Marko now at first. That one's popped up right to me. I'm just going to let that one go. My biggest fear, as always, I've mentioned this several times, is when I'm out here commentating and foul balls get hit in my direction. Just trying to make sure my equipment doesn't get hit. If it doesn't, then I'm okay. I'll sacrifice life and limb if I have to in order to make sure this equipment doesn't get hit, because if it did, that would be pretty much be the end of the streams. Strike 3, Brendan Nicholson goes down swinging, and the Maple Leafs get out of it. So a strong first inning there for Zach Sloan in relief of Mateos Kakados. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Maple Leafs are going to try to break this deadlock. It's 2-2. We'll be right back in a minute. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 5th inning. Still a 2-2 game here at Christie Pits Park. Alex Sealman, the catcher, going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs, the number 8 hitter. Line drive, that's going to get down. Nice try at the diving play there from the left fielder, but not able to get it. It goes all the way to the wall, and Sealman is going to start off the bottom of the 5th with a stand-up double. That is the first hit for the Maple Leafs since the 1st inning. And it's an extra base hit for Serrano here.
Center fielder Gregg Carrington.
So Gregg Carrington going to come up now. And with nobody out, the Maple Leafs have got something going. Runner at second. Number 9 hitter here, Gregg Carrington, at the plate. showing bunt, and it's bunted right up to the pitcher, and it's a good bunt. It's going to get past everybody, and Carrington's safe. Carrington did not react quick enough to that bunt coming his direction, and because of it, Carrington's now at first, and Sealman moves to third. So that's an infield hit on the bunt attempt there from Carrington. I think he was just trying to sacrifice and move the runner over.
Left fielder Ryan Santos.
He ended up bunting it back towards the pitcher, but Carrington didn't get off the mound quick enough to field it. And by that point, it's gonna, if anyone knows the field here at Christie Pits Park, it's gonna just die in the infield there. There's a ground ball trying to turn 2 and 1 and over to 2, safe at first is Ryan Santos, and Alex Sealman comes in to score. So because Santos raced that one out and doesn't ground into the double play, he gets the credit for the RBI on that play. So the Maple Leafs take the lead on what's officially going to be called an RBI fielder's choice by Ryan Santos. And Carrington is erased on that play, but Santos now standing at first. And now Justin Marra is going to come to the plate. Santos has got a little bit of speed at first base. We'll see what he does. Marra's 0 for 2 in this one, couple of flyouts.
Second baseman Justin Marra.
He stands in here against Carrington. Not going as Santos as a first pitch strike to Marra. So it's now a 3-2 lead for the Maple Leafs as Sealman came in to score on that fielder's choice by Ryan Santos. As Welland tried to turn 2 on it, but couldn't get Santos. A little too much speed there. There's a fly ball deep into right field, but that one is going to go just foul. That was well hit by Marra, but he pulled it a little bit too much. Carrington, here's the pitch. Taken, called strike 3. Marra goes down on strikes, and he'll walk head back to the dugout. Doesn't say a word to the umpire. Or at least didn't look like it from up here. So 2 away now, and that'll bring up Marcus Connect.
Right fielder Marcus Connect.
Here's the pitch to Connect, and it's taken for strike 1 from Rich Carrington. So Santos still standing at first base. I wonder if he's going to try to go, and just as I say that, there he goes, and that one's in the air. It's going to be playable for DeAndre Ashbury-Heath. He barely moves in center field, and he makes the catch, and that will do it for the Maple Leafs in the 5th inning. But they get a run, and they take the lead back. So it's now a 3-2 lead for Serrano as we head into the 6th inning. We'll be right back in a minute.
And off the top of the sixth for Welland, first baseman Brendan Dotson.
Sixth inning here at Christie Pits Park. Brendan Dadson going to lead things off for the Welland Jackfish against Zach Sloan and the Maple Leafs, as that one's taken for ball one. It is now a 3-2 lead for the Maple Leafs. They got a run in the bottom of the fifth inning, thanks to the RBI fielder's choice from Ryan Santos, as he scored Sealman on that grounder to second. They tried to turn the double play, but Santos beat it out. And now Dadson up here for the Jackfish against Zach Sloan and the Maple Leafs. One and one the count. Here's the pitch from Sloan, and that one is taken for ball two. That one was low and away. Here's the 2-1, and that one is away for ball three. Dadson, the number 2 hitter in this Welland lineup here. Maple Leafs going to try to keep him off the base paths because you don't want a base runner with the meat of the order coming up, and that one's in the air, and it's going to be playable, and making the catch out there is the left fielder Ryan Santos, and there's one away. That was a liner, but it was hit right to Santos. He almost took a step in, and it went over his head, but he's able to recover and make the catch, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter here, Wilson Soriano. Serrano's 0 for 2 in this one, but he did reach on a fielder's choice back in the first inning as he fouls that one off. That one's fouled off. That one might be playable, though. It's going to go right up near the mound, and coming in to make the play is the third baseman, Cooper Lamb, and there's 2 away. So 2 quick outs here. And the Maple Leafs are going to try to finish this inning off here. Andrew Mercier, the designated hitter, will come up to the plate for Welland. Mercier is 0 for 2 in this one. With a fly out and a ground out. Sloan continuing to work quickly here. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike 1. Here's the pitch. That one's away for ball 1. 3-2 Maple Leafs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Grounded foul by Mercier. Maple Leafs have another pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Looks like it's Juan Carlos Enriquez. We saw him in the last game against Hamilton. Here's the pitch. In the air, that's going foul. That's out of play. As mentioned, coming into this game, Welland 14 wins, 10 losses on the season, in 3rd place in the IBL standings. The Maple Leafs 9 wins, 17 losses, 7th place. There's a ground ball to to second, played by Justin Mara, and over to first for the out. So a 1-2-3 inning go the Welland Jackfish, and the Maple Leafs are going to go to the bottom of the 6th with a 1-run lead and looking to add some more. We'll be right back in a minute. Bottom of the sixth, it's a 3-2 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs here. Damon Toppoli going to lead things off against Rich Carrington, out for his 6th inning of work here. It's a ground ball. It's going to go fair ball down the left field side. This is going to be extra bases for Toppoli. It goes all the way to the wall in left field, and Topoli's got a stand-up double. So the second straight inning, the Maple Leafs have started off with a stand-up double. This one comes from Toppoli. Topoli's now 2 for 3 on the day as well. And that'll bring up Cooper Lamb. So a good start here for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 6th, trying to add to their 1-run lead here. So Cooper Lamb will step in here as the Maple Leafs are going to try to add some more runs here. And that one is taken for a ball. I presume if you're watching this that you are a fan of baseball, so I'll just let you in on something else that's going on in Major League Baseball right now. Just got an update from my Sportsnet app on my phone that says the Tampa Bay Rays are 3 outs away from a perfect game right now. They have not allowed an Oriole base runner for 8 innings here, so they're 1 inning away from pulling off the very rare feat of a perfect game. Even more rare is that it would be a combined perfect game because they've had 2 pitchers in the game today. Ground ball, and that's going to reach on a base hit, a well-hit ball that splits the infielders. Topoli's going to stop at third, and Cooper Lamb with his 2nd hit of the day. He's 2 for 3 as well. So first and third, now nobody out, and here comes Alberto Tirado with a chance to pick up his first RBI as a member of the Maple Leafs. So Tirado steps up here. And if you can hear that, that might be the Indy cars. So ground ball. Today is the IndyCar race in Toronto. And we can hear them. I'm sure you can probably hear them on this broadcast as well. A lot of thundering going on. It seemed like out of nowhere. It sounded like a plane was flying over, but that would be the cars, and I expect we're going to hear them throughout the rest of the day as well. Here goes the runner. That one's in the air. It's going to be playable for Vaughn Bryan, but coming in, tagging up is Damon Toppoli. It's going to be a play, and no play as it's cut off by the pitcher, so Toppoli comes in to score on a sacrifice fly from Alberto Tirado. He gets his first RBI as a member of the Maple Leafs. So that sacrifice fly worked to perfection for Tirado, and now Ryan Johnston will step up with Cooper Lamb still at first. There's a ground ball. There's a base hit into center field for Ryan Johnston. So he moves the runners up. So Lamb moves up to second on the base hit from Ryan Johnston, and now the Maple Leafs are starting to get to Rich Carrington again. And Welland's got a guy warming up. It's like another left-hander. And now Alex Sealman will step up. He's 1 for 2. He doubled and came around to score in the last inning. Fouled off by Sealman. There's a pitch, taken for a strike. Carrington up the middle, and that is going to be played by Soriano, but he's not going to be able to get to the runner. He tried to make the tag and try to get Johnston, who was heading into second on the force play, but he wasn't able to get there in time. So now the bases are loaded with just 1 out. So the bases are loaded for the number 9 hitter, Gregg Carrington here. So Cooper Lamb is at third, Ryan Johnston is at second, and now Alex Sealman is at first. Here's the pitch. And that is in the air. That is well hit by Carrington. All
Get
the
out.
way to the wall, and it's gone! Grand slam, Gregg Carrington. The unlikeliest of heroes here for the Maple Leafs as Carrington goes yard over the right field wall, and the Maple Leafs have blown it open. That's the second straight home game with a grand slam for the Maple Leafs as John Salazzo did it on Wednesday. And now Carrington does it and gives a big lead to his team, the Maple Leafs here. And it is now an 8-2 lead for the Toronto Maple Leafs here. And the manager is going to come out and talk to Rich Carrington. And I have to update my score sheet here.
Yeah, I watched that massacre when it was 19-3, 11-2. Oh, look at him. Very good.
That was the first home run of the season for Gregg Carrington. Couldn't have picked a bigger time to get it. It's an 8-2 lead now for the Maple Leafs as they have scored 5 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
You know what? Okay, this is my personal opinion. Every game that they've been playing, they always the relief pitcher, he's in trouble. So you're down 4 runs, you're down 3 runs. So
Batting
okay,
for
pull him out.
left fielder Ryan Santos.
You know what he does? He does
So here comes Ryan Santos.
Poor guy, when it's 5 to 6 runs, then he pulls.
An 8-2 lead for the Maple Leafs on the grand slam from Gregg Carrington. And now the manager, the Welland manager, is coming out to talk, and the umpire is not letting him. Looked like he wanted to go out to the mound or something again and talk to Carrington, but the umpire said, no, you've had your mound visit. You can't go back out there now. That certainly looked to be the direction he was going. I don't know, maybe he had something to say to the home plate umpire as well, but he's still having words, and the umpire is having some words back, and now he's settled, and we're back on, and Carrington is still in the game here. And he's dealing to Ryan Santos now, as Santos takes a first pitch strike. A 6-run lead here now for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Surprised that Carrington's still in the game here, but I guess they just want him to finish off the inning. So that one is going to go foul. That one's taken low. So a 5-run lead here, or 5-run inning for the Maple Leafs has given them a 6-run lead. That one is in the air, into center field. It's going to be playable for the center fielder, DeAndre Ashbury. He makes the catch. And now there's 2 away here. That'll bring up Justin Mara.
Batting for second baseman Justin Mara.
So Mara steps up here. First pitch strike from Carrington. I assume this is going to be the last inning we'll see of Rich Carrington. Jackfish have got a guy warming up. He's been warming up basically all inning. I think they just want him to finish up this inning. Here's a pitch. A called strike to Mara. This is the 7th batter, this is the 8th batter the Maple Leafs are going to bring up in this inning. It started with Damon Toppoli getting that stand-up double. He came in to score, and then Cooper Lamb, Ryan Johnston, and Alex Seelman all came in to score off the grand slam from Gregg Carrington, the number 9 hitter for the Maple Leafs. That one's fouled off by Mara. And here's a pitch. Called strike 3, and Mara goes down looking for the second time this game. So that'll do it for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the sixth, but not before they get 5 runs. 4 of them from a grand slam from Gregg Carrington. And the Maple Leafs have busted it open and lead 8-2 as we go into the 7th inning. We'll be back in a minute.
Welland, third baseman, Nolan Pettipies.
To the 7th inning we go here. Nolan Pettipies going to lead things off for Welland against Zach Sloan. It is now an 8-2 game in favor of the Maple Leafs. Ground ball to third. Playing very in there was Cooper Lamb, and it gets grounded right to him, and he makes the play. So one very quick out here for the Maple Leafs in the 7th inning, and it'll bring up Vaughn Bryan, the left fielder. It's now an 8-2 game. The Maple Leafs got 5 runs in the bottom half of the 6th. The first one came from the first RBI in the Maple Leaf career of Alberto Tirado, and the sacrifice fly that scored Damon Toppoli. And then Gregg Carrington hit a grand slam, his first home run of the season, that just carried over the right field wall to make the score what it is now, 8-2 Maple Leafs. Swing and a miss there from Vaughn Bryan. Bryan's 0 for 2 on the day, struck out and fly out. Zach Sloan pitching pretty well out of bullpen here. Bryan takes that one low. The Jackfish have 2 runs on only 3 hits. So Maple Leafs are doing a good job of keeping these bats at bay. And here's the pitch. Line drive, and yeah, I jinxed it. That's a fair ball, and Bryan's going to try to go for 2. It's going to be a strong throw in. Play at second, but that one gets by the second baseman, but picked up there by Toppoli, the first baseman who was covering. So it's a double for Vaughn Bryan. And I'm going to keep my mouth shut now about the job the Maple Leafs pitching has been doing, because apparently it doesn't bring anything but bad luck. So here's DeAndre Ashbury-Heath, with Vaughn Bryan now standing at second base. Ashbury-Heath is 1 for 2 in this one. He hit a home run back in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch. Takes strike 1 there from Zach Sloan. Ashbury-Heath last season had a 3 home run game here at Christie Pits Park while he was with the Brantford Red Sox. He's now joined up with the Welland Jackfish and has just 2 home runs on the season, and one of them just came here today. So Ashbury-Heath is now 20 for 89 on the season with 2 home runs. That one is away. 1 out here in the 7th inning. And if you hear any thing that sounds like a plane on the broadcast throughout the rest of this game, probably not a plane. It's the race cars. Today is the IndyCar race here in Toronto. And we heard them kind of warming up and getting revved up a little while ago during the bottom of the 6th. And if we hear them again, just be warned, that's probably what it is. Here's a pitch. Well hit. That's a base hit for Ashbury Heath. Brian was going. He's going to come around to score. And Ashbury Heath is going to go in, try for 2. And the play in front at second base in time. What a play. A strong throw in there. And the umpire is saying that's the 3rd out. And the umpire is saying no run. It looked like the run had came in before that play. But that was just the 2nd out. So I'm not sure what the ruling is here. As that's just the 2nd out, so I'm not sure why that run wouldn't count. So anyway, Ashbury Heath gunned out at 2nd. And now Sloan is pitching to Nate Mastervic. So I'm going to wait here. I'm going to see if I can get a clarification from our official scorer, Gene Pereira, because I could have swore I heard the umpire scream up no run. And then Welland had a little bit of some words to say, and it's confusing because that was only the 2nd out. So maybe the umpire was mistaken, or maybe I didn't hear him right or something, but I could have sworn that was what he said. So that's ball 4. Mastervic reaches on a walk. Mastervic has reached all 3 times he's batted today. 2 walks and a double back in the 3rd inning. So I'm assuming that run counts, that Brian came in to score. It doesn't make any sense why it wouldn't. So I believe it's an 8-3 game. And Point Streak is saying it's 8-3, so that should be fine. So 8-3 is that run from Brian, I believe, is official. It wouldn't make any sense why it wouldn't. So it's an RBI base hit for DeAndre Ashbury Heath there, but he's gunned out at 2nd trying to extend it. So Gregg Marco, the number 9 hitter, he's 0 for 1 with a walk in his last at bat. Fouls that one off. And I should mention an update. I mentioned it before. The Rays had a perfect game going into the 9th. They lost it in the 9th inning. So no perfect game for the Tampa Bay Rays. That would have been a very rare combined perfect game between 2 pitchers. But they fell 3 outs short is my update I'm getting from my sports app. So with no out in the 9th, they finally give up a hit. So that'll do it for that. Now it just says they lost their perfect game, so I'm not sure if their no-hitter is still intact. I think it would have still said, but in any case, no perfect game for the Rays. That one's fouled off by Gregg Marco. Marko said was the number 9 hitter, is the number 9 hitter in this one, and he's batting here with Nate Mastervic at first base. Mastervic has had himself a good game. He's reached all 3 times, and he's going here, and that one plunks Marko. So Marko's going to take first base on the hit by pitch, and now there's runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 out. And now Brandon Nicholson, the leadoff man, is going to come to the plate here. So meeting at the mound here is the whole infield comes in to talk with Peter Toppoli, who comes out of the dugout there for the Maple Leafs, advising what to do here against this leadoff man, Brandon Nicholson. Nicholson is 1 for 3 on the game. Struck out in his last at bat. He also had a base hit in the 3rd. So Nicholson comes up here. And here's the pitch. And that one was outside. Almost looked like a pitch out, but maybe checking to see if the runners wanted to move. And that one's away for ball 2.
So I said, okay, it shouldn't be a problem.
First and second, there are 2 out here in the top of the 7th. Ball 3. Sloan having a little trouble finding the zone right now. Maple Leafs still have Juan Carlos Enriquez warming up in the bullpen. See when they decide to bring him in. And that's strike 1 there on the 3-0 pitch. Three balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And that's ball 4, so the bases are going to be loaded. The bases are going to be loaded for Brendan Dadson, and that is going to do it for Zach Sloan, as Peter Topley's going to come out, and second mound visit of the inning means there's going to be a pitching change, and that'll be it for Zach Sloan. So Juan Carlos Enriquez is going to come into the bullpen, or come out of the bullpen, and he will inherit a bases-loaded 2-out situation that he's going to try to get the Maple Leafs out of. So it's an 8-3 lead for the Maple Leafs right now. Enriquez is going to come in to try to get them out of this jam. And we're going to take a break while he warms up. We'll be right back in a minute. Juan Carlos Enriquez inherits a pretty sticky situation here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Brendan Dadson is the batter. Just got to get out of this and keep this 5-run lead for the Maple Leafs. It's an 8-3 lead for Toronto right now over Welland. Brendan Dadson has a .333 average coming into this game. Today he is 0 for 3. Or excuse me, he's 0 for 2. He walked back in the first. Juan Carlos Enriquez, a .364 ERA right now, and 17 in the third innings pitched, and 22 strikeouts. He looked very good here on Wednesday against Hamilton. Here's the pitch. Taken for strike 2. Enriquez trying to get out of it here. He can do it with one more pitch. Big moment in this game. Bases loaded for Welland. Here's the pitch from Enriquez. Ground ball. Dadson stays alive as he fouls it off. Enriquez is getting set and getting ready here. Dadson is ready. He's in the box. Here's the pitch. 1-2 pitch on the way. That one's almost hits Dadson. That would have been a problem for the Maple Leafs. That would have brought a run in. So count now 2-2. Enriquez Trying to get it done here. It's the 2-2. Grounder. It's going to be playable for the shortstop. Johnston's got to have a big throw, and he fires it in time. Enriquez gets the job done. He induces the ground ball, and Johnston throws it over, and the Maple Leafs get out of it without giving up another run. So it remains an 8-3 game as we're going to head to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Christie Pits Park. We will be right back in a minute. Here we go, bottom of the 7th inning here. Marcus Connect going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs here. New pitcher for the Welland Jackfish is the left-hander Tyler Wood. That one's a ball, goes right by the catcher. Tyler Wood is an ERA of 7 right now. 5 strikeouts in 9 innings pitched for the Jackfish, and he's behind in the count 2-0 now to Marcus Connect. Connect is 1 for 3, had a home run back in the first inning. That was a no-doubt home run as well. That's a called strike from the umpire. Elsewhere in the IBL right now, it is a 2-0 lead for the Guelph Royals over Brantford. Hamilton Cardinals, bit of a surprise, leading Kitchener 7-2. That game is in Kitchener as well. And the London Majors and Barrie Baycats will play later today at 7 o'clock. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Fair. Down the third base side. It goes right by the third baseman, and Connect's going to have extra bases here if he can hurry. And there won't be a play. Sliding into second is Marcus Connect with a double. That is the 3rd straight inning that the Maple Leafs have led off with a double. And in both of those other 2 innings, they ended up scoring some runs. So we'll see if they can do it here.
First baseman,
Damon Toppoli up here now. Damon Toppoli is 2 for 3. He had a home run in the first inning as well. Also doubled and came in to score in the 6th. So here he comes here with a runner on at second. Off-speed pitch there from Tyler Wood. That one's just away. Also want to give a little bit of context to what almost happened today in Major League Baseball. The Rays were 1 inning away from the very first combined perfect game in Major League Baseball history. So they had 2 pitchers combined to throw 8 no-hit perfect innings, not a base runner allowed, and then with no out in the 9th inning. A squib hit from Poncer Alberto got through the shift somehow and ended the perfect game bid. Also, in case you're wondering, Blue Jays down 4-2 in the bottom of the ninth to New York Yankees right now. There's a fly ball. That might drop. That is going to drop. So that will move the runner up, but it won't score as, again, Connect had to hold to make sure it wasn't going to be caught. And so he'll stand at third. So Topley is now have himself a night. He's 3 for 4. So first and third, nobody out, and now Cooper Lamb will step up. So that's a called strike there. So Tyler Wood coming in to this game is his first inning, relieving Rich Carrington. Not off to the start he'd want. That one's in the dirt, and that gets away, but Connect not going. Not sure if he didn't know where that ball was, but in any case, he's still standing at third. First and third, nobody out here. Ground ball to second base, can be played, might be two, on over to first for the double play, but a run comes in to score as Marcus Connect comes in, but since it's double play, it won't be an RBI for Cooper Lamb. So with 2 out now, Alberto Tirado is going to come up. That's a ball. Tirado, his last at bat, hit a sacrifice fly, came in, and that allowed Topley to come in and score. That was the very first RBI for Alberto Tirado in his IBL career here. He's 1 for 3 on the day, had a base hit back in the first. And the Maple Leafs now lead it 9-3 as Connect came in to score on that double play.
You want me to say a few words? I used to play for Cincinnati.
There's a ground ball, and that's going to be a tough play, and there's no way they're getting Tirado on that one. So an infield hit for Alberto Tirado. As it was hit in the perfect spot, right into no man's land. The only one who was going to get to it was the pitcher Tyler Wood, and he would have had to make a very athletic play to even have a shot at getting Tirado at first. So now Ryan Johnston will come up with Tirado at first base. And Tirado not taking much of a lead there, so not thinking he's going to run. But we will see. Again, don't know a whole lot about Alberto Tirado. He's a new player for the Maple Leafs here. This is just the second game with the team. And he is going. And he got a pretty good jump, and he's in there with a stolen base. And that one goes all the way into center field, but he's going to stay at second. So that's the first stolen base of Alberto Tirado's career in the IBL here. So he steals second. And now there's a runner in scoring position for Ryan Johnston. Johnston's 1 for 3 in this one. He singled and came around to score back in the 6th inning. So far, this has been one of the most complete games I've seen from this Toronto Maple Leafs team. Lots of great hitting, a well-pitched game as well. Very good defensively, have not committed any errors thus far. And they're in line to get their first home win in quite a while and break a 5-game losing streak as long as they can keep this score the way it is. That one's popped up in the air. This should end the inning. Coming over to make the catch is the second baseman, and that's going to do it for the Maple Leafs. But they get another run thanks to, well, it was a double play ball from Cooper Lamb, but Marcus Connect came in to score on it. So that's another run for the Maple Leafs, and we're going to go to the 8th inning now. It's a 9-3 lead for Toronto. We'll be back in a minute. Wilson Soriano going to lead things off here in the top of the 8th inning for the Maple Leafs. Enriquez still out for the Maple Leafs as he was able to get the Maple Leafs out of the jam where they had the bases loaded with 2 out, and they brought him in, and he induced the ground ball to shortstop. As Soriano fouls this one off.
Talk to your girl.
Soriano swing and a miss there, and that's strike 2 there. And I think we may be having some issues here. There's a pitch from Enriquez. That one goes high and over Soriano's head. Enriquez getting set here. Here's the pitch from Enriquez. In the air. It's going to be playable for the third baseman, and making the catch is Cooper Lamb, and there's one away here for the Maple Leafs in the top of the 8th. And Mercier is going to come up to the plate here, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 3 today for the Jackfish.
Number 91, designated hitter, Andrew Mercier.
And we may be having some buffering issues with the broadcast. I apologize. I think it's a hot day out today, and it's starting to take a toll on my laptop here. So I'm going to do what I can to try to fix that situation for you. The strike called there. That's a ground ball, also played by Land. He'll throw it on over to first, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 8th. And it's kind of being silent for a minute. I'm just trying to get some air onto my machine here. Mention it's a gorgeous day here at Christie Pits Park, but it has gotten a little hot out, and my equipment's suffering a little bit. So I'm just going to try to do what I can to make that work. And here's steps Nolan Pettipies, third baseman in this one. He's 0 for 3 on the day, and Enriquez having a good showing so far. Fly ball, it's going to go foul. Here's the pitch from Enriquez. Fly ball foul. Going to go out of play. Here's the pitch from Enriquez. In the air, into right field, and that's going to be playable for Marcus Connect. He comes in and he makes the catch. And that will do it for the Jackfish here in the 8th inning. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. The Maple Leafs have a chance to tack on some more runs here. It's a 9-3 lead. We'll be right back after this. Bottom of the 8th we go. Alex Sealman leading things off here for the Maple Leafs. Tyler Wood still out there for the Welland Jackfish. And that one's taken away. In the air, fly ball. Looks like it's going to be playable for the left fielder, Vaughn Bryan, and he makes the catch. So there's one away here for the Maple Leafs. With one out, it'll bring up Gregg Carrington, the center fielder, who is 2 for 3 with a grand slam in his last at bat. That's the one that broke the game open. The Maple Leafs, an unexpected hero in this one, Gregg Carrington. His first home run of the season, might be his first home run as a Maple Leaf. And he obviously has had a big impact in this game, and good to see from him, as he's typically not a guy who starts every game. He's starting now in place of Connor Lewis. Connor Lewis has had some injury issues this year, and I think not really sure what's going on with Connor Lewis, but he is not in this lineup again. He was a very late scratch on Wednesday against Hamilton. The lineup was announced, and then right at the last minute, about 2 minutes before the game started, there was a very late replacement, very late change to the lineup, as it was Carrington who came in for him. This is a ground ball foul. But Carrington, when he's playing this year, is hitting pretty well for the Maple Leafs. And here's the pitch from Tyler Wood. Is a fly ball, and that is a just foul down the right field side. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled off by Carrington. It's a 9-3 lead here for the Maple Leafs. In the air, and that one is going to fall in front of Ashbury Heath. That's a base hit for Gregg Carrington. How of a night for Gregg Carrington. He's now 3 for 4. Having himself a great day at the bottom of this Maple Leafs lineup. And here comes Brian Santos. Santos is 0 for 4 today. Takes that one away. And here's the 1-0. Fly ball foul. It's going to come out of play here. That one's taken for a ball. As I mentioned before, this is one of the most complete games I've seen from the Maple Leafs this season. Every aspect has been good to great in this game. The foul tip swinging him, or foul tip from Santos goes into the glove of the catcher, Gregg Marco. So that's strike 2. Here's the pitch. Taken outside. The offense has been good. The defense has been very good. And the pitching has been solid for the Maple Leafs in this one. And there's a swing and a miss from Santos. He strikes out. That's 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll bring up Justin Mara.
Second baseman Justin Mara.
Mara is 0 for 4 in this one with a couple of strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. Here's the pitch. And that one's high for ball 1. Again, apologize if we're having any issues with the stream. It's gotten a little bit hot out. My laptop's overheating a little bit. I got a fan on it now to see if it'll calm it down a little bit. As strike 2 called to Justin Mara. But shouldn't be too much longer left in this game, so hoping it'll be able to make it through the rest of it. Here's the pitch to Justin Mara. That one's up the middle and base hit for Justin Mara. So he gets his first hit of the game here. And Ashbury Heath has some trouble with it, and now trying to head over to third is Carrington, and he'll do it. So he moves up on the little bumble there from DeAndre Ashbury Heath. So now first and third with 2 out for Marcus Connect, the number 3 hitter for the Maple Leafs.
Right fielder Marcus Connect.
Connect is 2 for 4 in this one. He had a home run back in the first inning and then doubled and came in to score in the 7th. So Connect takes the first pitch strike. There's a pitch. Taken for a ball. There's a 1-1 pitch. Line drive, base hit. That's going to score another run. Carrington comes in. And it's now a 10-3 lead for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 8th inning. RBI single there for Marcus Connect, his second RBI of the game.
Now batting Toronto, first baseman Damon Topley.
And now here comes Damon Topley, the first baseman. Topley's had a great day as well. He's 3 for 4 at the plate. Still 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th. Runners at first and second. Taken for a ball. Good eye from Topley. Veteran of this league, has been in the league for a number of years as Damon Topley. He has seen it all, and he is second all-time in hits in the IBL record books. He's added a few more to that total already today, and he's looking for one more here. Here's the pitch. That one's fouled. Topley ready. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. It gets away from Marko, but right in front of him. So the runners stay where they are. Topley ready. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to be just foul. So now a 10-3 lead for the Maple Leafs here. And here's the pitch. Ground ball, and that one's going to go foul down the left field side. Topley, nice long at bat here against Wood, making him work for this last out. Fly ball, well hit, but it's going to be playable for DeAndre Ashbury-Heath. He makes the catch, and that will do it for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 8th. But they get another run, and now they're going to go up to the 9th inning here with a chance to close out the Jackfish. It's a 10-3 lead for Toronto. We'll be right back. All right, here we go. Top of the ninth inning here. Welland going to send Vaughn Bryan to the plate to lead things off here. New pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs is the right-hander Jackson Jones. He's going to come in and try to slam the door here on this Welland team, as Maple Leafs are going to try to snap their 5-game losing streak here and pick up their elusive 10th win of the season. They lead Welland 11 or 10-3. Wow, it's been a long day in the sun for me. Swing and a miss there from Vaughn Bryan. So Jackson Jones out here to finish this one off. Obviously not a safe situation. Called strike 3, and Vaughn Bryan is down on strikes. He has some words for the umpire as he leaves. He's still having some words. Turned around a couple of times to say some things. And one away here, and he'll bring up DeAndre Ashbury Heath. Ashbury Heath is 2 for 3 today for Welland. He had a home run back in the 3rd inning. That opened the scoring for the Jackfish. Got them on the board. He also had an RBI single in the 7th, but then was thrown out at 2nd trying to extend it. Here's the pitch from Jones. That one is taken for a ball. That's a base hit, and that's a 3-for-4 day from Ashbury Heath, and he is going to try to move to 2nd on this. It's going to be a throw in, but not in time, as Ashbury Heath has a stand-up double here. Boy, every time DeAndre Ashbury Heath comes to this park and plays the Maple Leafs, he always has a pretty big day at the plate, and today is no exception. As I mentioned a couple times in this broadcast, he had a 3-home run game against Toronto back in the last season at Christie Pits Park.
I'm going to go right fielder Nate Mastervik.
So Nate Mastervik now at the plate here. There's the pitch, and that one is low and inside for a ball. Maple Leafs have another busy week coming up. They're on the road for pretty much all week. Next game on Tuesday is in Kitchener to take on the Panthers. And then on Thursday, they're in Barrie to take on the Baycats. And then on Saturday, they're in Welland to take on these Welland Jackfish. And then on the 21st, next Sunday at 2 o'clock, they'll be back at home to take on the London Majors, and I'll have that game for you here. Broadcast that game live for you, as I do for every Maple Leafs home game that I can do, and hopefully for the next rest of the season, I should be there for all of them. Here's the pitch, and that one's taken for ball 4. So Mastervik reaches. This bottom of the order, particularly Ashbury Heath and Nate Mastervik, have done a great job. That is the 4th time that Mastervik has reached base
Gregg Marco.
in this game for Welland, although he only has 1 hit. He had a base hit, he had a double and came in to score in the 3rd, and then has walked 3 times since. So now Gregg Marco will step up, and there's still just 1 out. Jones working to Gregg Marco here. He takes a strike. There's Gregg Marco. Marco's officially 0 for 1 in this one. He struck out back in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, and then in the 7th was hit by a pitch. Here's the pitch. And it takes strike 2. Jones ready. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Should be an easy play for Topley. He makes the play over, and there's 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. So the Jackfish are down to their last out, and it's going to be the top of the order, Brandon Nicholson. Nicholson is 1 for 3 in this one. Had a base hit back in the 3rd and also walked in the 7th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd here, 2 out. There's a strike called there. So the Maple Leafs, this will be their first home win in quite a while, and the first win that I'm actually going to get to broadcast. A swing and a miss from Nicholson. I was starting to think it was me for a while, so good to know that they can actually win when I'm here. (10-3) the score here. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. Almost strike 3 called there, but not quite there. So the Maple Leafs are going to move to 10 and 17, and Welland will fall to 14 and 11 on the season. Here's the pitch. Fouled. Heading to the press box. Bounces on top of it. Still 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Jones. That one's high for a ball. Jones ready, trying to put this game away. Here's the pitch. No, called strike 3. The Maple Leafs were already celebrating. That really looked good, it's even from up here. But the umpire says no. That off-speed pitch completely froze Nicholson, but it just didn't get enough of that of home plate. So 3-2 pitch now. Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. The Maple Leafs take it 10-3 over the Welland Jackfish, and they snap their 5-game losing streak. They move to 10 wins and 17 losses on the season, and that's got to feel good for this team that's had a really, really rough week. Had a number of games this week, haven't been able to pick up any wins, but they rounded off with a victory here at home in front of their crowd as they beat the 3rd-place Welland Jackfish, and a convincing win for the Maple Leafs. This is probably their most impressive all-around game that I've seen for them all season. Offense was on point.